This could very well be the next Air Force One. We are looking at a $400 million Boeing 747-8 Intercontinental, a staggering gift to the United States from the royal family of Qatar. It stands as the largest, fastest, and most technologically superior version of the most iconic silhouette in aviation history. Yet, as it sits right now, this flying palace is essentially defenseless. It couldn't protect a president from anything more lethal than a pocket of air turbulence. The real mission here isn't just bolting on security hardware. It's the impossible task of hiding a high-tech fortress inside a priceless work of art without ruining the soul of either. The sheer scale of this machine is hard to process until you see it up close, measuring exactly 250 feet and 2 inches from its nose to its tail. That makes it 20 feet longer than the current Air Force One, and remarkably, just 14 feet shorter than its own massive wingspan. If you were to stand this aircraft on its tail, it would tower as high as a 19-story skyscraper. The main fuselage reaches 19 feet at its widest point, providing a cavernous interior deck that spans 20 feet across. The wings themselves stretch out 224 feet and 5 inches, tipped with elegant winglets that curve upward another 11 feet. Those curves aren't just for show. They are precision engineering designed to slice through air vortices, boosting fuel efficiency by about 2%. With a total wing area of nearly 6,000 square feet, you could comfortably fit 5 tennis courts on top of them. When this giant is parked at a gate, the pilots are looking out of windows level with the 5th floor of a standard office building. Hanging from those wings are 4 General Electric GNX 2B67 turbofans, representing a massive leap forward from the engines on the current VC-25A. Each one of these beasts screams with 6,500 pounds of thrust, a full 14,000 pounds more than the old model's power plants. What's truly incredible is that the GenX does this while sipping 15% less fuel. This efficiency comes down to a bypass ratio of 8.0 to 1. Essentially, for every pound of air burned in the hot core, 8 pounds are pushed around it. This massive wall of cold bypassed air generates the bulk of the thrust, while the core simply provides the mechanical muscle to spin the fan. Higher bypass means the plane is quieter, smoother, and vastly more efficient for long-haul hops. The front fan is a staggering 104 inches in diameter, featuring 18 carbon fiber blades that weigh half as much as titanium but carry the same brutal loads. Inside, the combustion section hits a white-hot 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit during cruise. To survive that heat, engineers used ceramic matrix composites that simply didn't exist when the previous Air Force One was built. These advanced ceramics can handle temperatures that would turn standard metal alloys into liquid, allowing the engine to run hotter and cleaner than ever before. The end result is a paradox: more power, less fuel, and lower operating temperatures relative to the massive output. When fully loaded, this aircraft tips the scales at 987,000 pounds, nearly 500,000 tons of metal and luxury. Empty, it weighs in at roughly 485,000 pounds, which leaves over 500,000 pounds of capacity for fuel, staff, and cargo. It carries 63,000 gallons of fuel tucked away in the wings and fuselage. Burning roughly 2,800 gallons an hour, this plane can stay airborne for over 22 hours straight, far outlasting almost any commercial flight on the planet today. Its unrefueled range is a massive 8,000 nautical miles. That is enough to fly a world leader non-stop from DC to Singapore or Dubai without ever touching the ground. Compare that to the current aging fleet, which maxes out at 6,800 miles and burns 16% more fuel just to get there. It cruises at Mach 0.855, or roughly 570 miles per hour, making it the fastest commercial jet in the sky. It can push all the way to Mach 0.9 before the laws of physics and aerodynamics start to push back. The plane can climb to a service ceiling of 43,100 feet, though it breathes best between 35,000 and 40,000 feet. At that height, the air is thin enough for speed but thick enough for those GenX engines to operate at peak performance. While the airframe is 13 years old, delivered in 2012, it is practically a baby compared to the current fleet. The VC-25As we use now started their service in 1990, 35 years of grueling wear and tear. Finding parts for those old planes is becoming a nightmare, and maintenance schedules are stretching into months. By contrast, a 13-year-old 747-8 that has only been used for VIP flights and kept in climate-controlled hangars is essentially brand new. These planes are built to last for 135,000 flight hours. A VIP transport might only see a few hundred hours a year, meaning the structural life of this gift is nearly infinite. But the airframe is just the shell. The interior is why the US government couldn't say no. When you walk through the main entrance, you aren't greeted by aisles. You're in a private, silent hallway leading to the presidential suite. There is no shuffling past rows of seats or awkward contact with staff. The Qatari design ensures the VIP enters through a dedicated portal, keeping their world completely isolated from the noise of the crew and support teams. The master bedroom sits at the very front of the main deck, taking over the space where a commercial flight would pack in dozens of first-class passengers. We're talking about a real king-size bed with a high-end mattress, specially mounted so it doesn't bounce during turbulence. The current Air Force One has a pull-out sofa that presidents have been complaining about for decades. Reports say Donald Trump saw this suite, and the decision to accept the plane was made instantly. Surrounding that bed is custom wood paneling that looks more like a high-end gallery than a plane. The grain patterns are perfectly matched across every panel, the kind of artisanal work that costs thousands per foot. It requires specialized craftsmen who usually work on mega yachts. The ceiling features soft, indirect LED lighting and independent climate zones, allowing the president to keep his room at 65 degrees while the rest of the plane stays at 72. The master bath is connected directly, featuring marble countertops, gold-plated hardware, and a shower with enough pressure to rival a luxury mansion. And because this was built for royalty, there is a second master bedroom just in case. Most commercial 747s have 400 people sharing a few tiny bathrooms. This plane has 2 full luxury bathrooms for a single occupant. It is a level of decadence that is hard to wrap your head around. Moving further back, you find the private office. It features a full executive desk, not a tray table, and a leather chair on a locking swivel base. This is a room designed for the person running the world, featuring integrated screens and surfaces for high-stakes meetings at 40,000 feet. The current office on the old plane is functional, but it feels like a cramped 1980s time capsule. This new space feels like a corner office in a Manhattan skyscraper. Past the office is the main lounge, the money shot of the entire aircraft. It's a massive space that feels like a 5-star hotel lobby. There are deep leather sofas arranged for long conversations and individual armchairs that can recline into beds. A massive entertainment center is built into the wood-paneled walls, featuring sound systems that would make an audiophile weep. Every single surface is a masterclass in both comfort and high-end function. The ceilings here hit 8 feet high, which is unheard of for an airplane. The windows are also significantly larger, flooding the cabin with natural light so you forget you're trapped in a pressurized metal tube. The shades are all electronic, fading from clear to dark with a single tap. Behind this area is an aft lounge, a more intimate space for private briefings or a moment of quiet away from the hustle of the main cabin. Further back, the main deck transitions into a business class section for the small army that follows a president, Secret Service, military aides, and senior staff. Unlike the current plane, where staff often have to sleep on the floor or in shifts, these are full lie-flat pods. It is a revolutionary change for the people who actually run the logistics of the presidency, ensuring they arrive at their destination, rested and ready to work. But we've only covered the bottom half. The upper deck of a 747-8 is massive, stretching 60 feet from the cockpit to the rear. It provides an extra 1,000 square feet of prime real estate. On the Qatar jet, this area is filled with more lounges and a full galley for gourmet meal prep. A wide, curved staircase connects the 2 levels, finished in the same exquisite wood and leather, with handrails polished to a mirror-like shine. While the royals saw this staircase as a grand entrance, the Secret Service sees it as a choke point. It's a tactical area that has to be monitored and secured. The forward section of the upper deck holds the crew quarters, providing beds for the pilots and attendants so they can swap out during those 22-hour missions. This ensures the plane can stay operational for days at a time without ever needing to return to a base. The rest of the upper deck is more luxury, more leather, more wood, more views of the clouds. The Qatari configuration was all about pampering, which is fine for a prince, but it creates a massive problem for a president. You see, the current Air Force One is a relic of 1990. Its interior is frozen in the Reagan era, but its bones are packed with things this Qatari jet doesn't have. The most advanced communication suite on the planet. The old VC-25A is a flying data center. It has encrypted satellite uplinks, secure video rooms, and the hardware required to launch a nuclear strike from mid-air. That equipment takes up massive amounts of space, racks of servers, and miles of cabling that need heavy-duty cooling. The Qatari jet has none of this. It has consumer-grade Wi-Fi that will be ripped out on day one. Replacing luxury with lethality is the real challenge here. The VC-25B program, the official replacement for Air Force One, has been building these systems into the airframe from the ground up. Those planes are already years late and billions over budget because of how complex these systems are.